Please welcome Councillor Stephen Atkinson. It's so nice to see you. I had such a ball when I came to see you. I have to tell you, by the way, when I went to Lancashire County Council, I arrived and they'd formed a guard of honour outside the council building. I didn't know quite what to do. It's a huge task that you've undertaken. How's it been, those first few months? I mean, it must feel like a long time now.
It feels like a lifetime. but we have, I mean, just to give you the scale, 2.3 billion turnover, 13,500 members of staff, and we've got to bring all those people with us. And we've worked really hard to make them feel secure, make them feel that they can deliver. We're cutting away the knotweed of years of policy that's kept them suppressed. We're setting them free to deliver. So, yeah, it's been tough. And as Nigel said, when you lift the bonnet, you see a lot of unpleasant things. And we've lifted the bonnet. We're seeing things that we're thinking, wow, why did they do that? Why did they do that? So one of the big criticisms we had at the beginning was, you have no experience. But we have some of the brightest people I've ever seen in politics.
So it's interesting you say that. I was very struck by the age differences, the people in your cabinet, they're all different ages, different experiences, different walks of life. So refreshing, actually, because they've actually done something.
Absolutely. They've worked in the United States, they've had lots of different careers, and they bring all that experience and all that knowledge and all that challenge every day. And, you know, I was just looking at this morning when I went on the car park. We're the first in at 7:30. Yeah. We leave at 6 o'clock. We have respect from the staff. We respect the staff. But and the staff can feel the change. They can feel this is a time for change, a chance for change, a chance to deliver more.
And I saw that because we were walking down the corridor and I think we were talking about the fact you were concerned that the staff would be against a reform-controlled council. It's quite the contrary.
In Lancashire it is.
Yes.
And we've worked really hard on that. We've given them the chance to shine. We've motivated them. But we are there to hold them to account. We are there to set the policy. And we are there to scrutinise the performance. But we do that in a fair and professional way that makes them feel empowered, makes them feel they can deliver.
Yeah. I mentioned, actually, you are crucial, actually, in the bigger picture, because we have to prove that we're competent in local government so that people trust us when we come to form the next government of the United Kingdom. That is what I see when I came to see you. You are so passionate, so dedicated, and you put the people of Lancashire first. Absolutely.
Every day we ask this same question. Is this if what we're doing, does it improve the lives of residents? And if it doesn't, why are we doing it? And it's a simple question, but it keeps you honest and stops you getting sidetracked.
What's the biggest challenge you've come across?
The previous two administrations invested all of our reserves in government and corporate bonds, £550 million, and they've lost £350 million in value. So we have all of our reserves we can't use. The other challenge is we have ever-growing demand, and the government is not giving us the money to meet that demand. But we're up for the challenge. We're going to deliver on that challenge. We know how important this is, not just for Lancashire, but for the credibility of reform in the country.
It's extraordinary, actually, meeting councillors, and sometimes some very simple actions have such huge results. I remember talking to one councillor who, there was a gentleman in a wheelchair who couldn't actually get past this great big bush. I think this might have been in Lancashire, actually. We couldn't get past the bush because it was overgrown, and it just took someone to go and cut the bush down that then empowered that man to be able to go shopping. I mean, it's simple stuff, isn't it?
It's in the detail.
Yeah.
But it's also about bringing pride back. One of the things that we're doing before the Remembrance Day is cleaning all around all the war memorials, making people feel pride in the place. We've cleaned... you look at the signs in Lancashire, they've not been cleaned, the roadsides, in 25 years. We've cleaned over 4,000. It's little things that doesn't cost a lot of money but makes people feel pride where they are, makes them feel part of a community, makes them feel a sense of being in that place. And civic pride is something that never gets talked about, and we've brought it into our policy portfolio for this year.
And do you think that's had a difference? Because most ordinary people, I don't think, have really thought much about their council, or at least who's running that council. Has that changed since you've been in?
Absolutely. I think traditionally a lot of politicians have been passengers. They haven't been open to challenge. They haven't been open to those conversations. Why are we doing this? Why are we not doing that? And we bring a total fresh outlook on this. And the great thing is about the 53 councillors you mentioned is we're a family. We don't fall out. We don't play politics. We just all push forward to deliver for people of Lancashire. We're aware of the responsibility we have, and we're determined to deliver.
Can I just ask you? Well done. One of the things I enjoy every week is watching how many councillors we've gained every single week, and I think we won 4 out of 5 elections last week. We have some more tomorrow. Tomorrow. But just in terms of that, we are looking for people to stand to be a councillor. Now, I know there are lots of people probably in this room who may well think, I want to stand, or at least I'm thinking about it, or be interested. What would you say to those people, or indeed watching at home, who think, I want to do something, I want to restore civic pride, I want to put something back into my community, I actually want these places to thrive and to grow? What's your message to them?
Well, I always think of what Edmund Burke said, and I'll paraphrase this. All it takes for bad things to happen is for good men and women to do nothing. And I think we've got good men and women in this country who can now see that they need to do something. They love the country, they love the family, they love the community. And I don't think there's a better way of doing that than being a councillor, because you are really rooted in your local surroundings. I would say it is rewarding, and sometimes you'll be a lonely voice, but if you're honest to yourself, honest to your principles, you'll be respected, and you'll make a difference to many people at a very local level, where you interact with people on their lives every day. So it's a fantastically satisfying thing to do. And don't worry about not having a lack of experience. Just worry about being there for the right reasons, and it will all fall into place.
That's a brilliant message. You and I have spoken privately about the stresses and strains of what you're trying to achieve. You said you've got increasing sort of burden on you. People want more and more and more. There's less and less money. Central government doesn't give you the kind of money that you need. What's the one thing, if you had a magic wand and there was one thing that you could ask for that would help you as a council to deliver what you want, what would that be?
Central government, get out of the way. If you look at how the council started, they started in the typhoid epidemics of the 1850s, where local communities came together to deliver clean water. So they were all based in the local communities, but government sees them as an arm of national government and wants to deliver policies through them and doesn't want to listen to them. And that's where we've gone wrong. We should empower these councils to be close to the communities, to set their priorities, to look after local folk, put local folk first, instead of central government diktat. And if there could be a great repeal act to allow councils to be councils as they used to be, I think that would be fantastic.
And just very quickly, I have to wrap, but just very quickly, yesterday was, I think we may be having mic problems. Yesterday, we hosted a reception for you in Parliament in London. You all got together, you were there, Nigel made a speech, Sarah made a speech, I made a speech. Thank you very much. Nigel made a speech, I made a speech, Sarah made a speech, Richard made a speech, everyone made a speech. What was that day like? You went into the Palace of Westminster and Nigel said no one could have expected us to... there were so many of us, we couldn't fit in the room.
Yeah, we had to have 2 sessions. It was so exciting, 100 people who travelled down to Westminster. When you walk past Big Ben, and you look at those little St George's shields just around the clock face, it brings a tear to my eye. It's just a fantastic place, the mother of parliaments, such a proud country, and to be at the heart of it in Westminster Hall, meeting these really brave, great people who've stood up for this country, and they're putting the country first. It's inspiring, really inspiring, David.
Look, I have seen how committed, how dedicated you are, how passionate you are. I had the great privilege to come and meet you and all your councillors and the team running that council. I think you're doing a tremendous job, don't you, ladies and gentlemen?
Thank you very much.
Put your hands together, Councillor Stephen Atkinson.